Hey viewers, Michael Warren here from Essential Guitar Lessons, and let's learn how to play Decadent Dance on guitar by Extreme. This is a fantastic song for intermediate to advanced players with a great groove. I'll start by showing you all the chords. Now most of them are power chords, and it saves me stopping during the song to explain each one. So if you know all these chords, jump ahead to this time where the song starts. Now they're also tuned in E flat, but I'll keep my guitar in standard tuning. Don't forget to like this lesson and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Songs and lessons uploaded weekly. If you have any problems with the song, leave a comment and let me know how you went with this one. So let's get into it. Let's start with the chords. We have a standard A5 chord or A power chord, which is the open A string, second fret on the D and the G, and that's our A5 there. We have a normal D chord, so open D string, second fret on the G, third fret on the B, and second fret on the E. We have a D sus2, so open D string, second fret on the G, third fret on the B, and open E string this time. We have a D5 as well, which is exactly the same as a D, we're just not playing the E string. And we also have a D5 up the neck as well, so that's 5th fret on the A string, 7th fret on the D and the G. So lots of different D chords there. We have a G chord. Now with this G, we're going to play the 3rd fret on the E string, we're going to mute the A string, open D and G, 3rd fret on the B and the E there. And that's our G. We're going to have a D over G, so 3rd fret on the E string, again mute the A string. We're going to have open D string, 3rd fret on the G, sorry, 2nd fret on the G and 3rd fret on the B, and that's going to be a D over G. We've got a standard G5 power chord or G power chord, so 3rd fret on the E string, 5th fret on the A and the D there. We have an F sharp 5 or F sharp power chord, so 2nd fret on the E string, 4th fret on the A and the D. And we also have an F sharp minor chord there as well, so 2nd fret on the E string, 4th fret on the A and the D, 2nd fret on the G, B and E. That's our F sharp minor. We have an E5 chord or an E power chord, so open E string, 2nd fret on the A and the D. We also have one higher on the neck as well, which is also our E5, so 7th fret on the A string, 9th fret on the D and the G. We have a C sharp power chord there, so we're going to be 4th fret on the A string, 6th fret on the D and the G, and that's our C sharp power chord. Go back 1 fret and we have our C power chord there, C5, and go back another fret and we have our B5 there. So we have D, C sharp, C and B there. Then we have a D7 sus4, and the way we're going to play this is 5th fret on the A string, 7th fret on the D and the G, and we're going to take the 8th fret on the B and the E. And that's going to be our D7 sus4. We're also going to have a standard G chord which we're going to play up the neck here as well. So 5th fret on the A and the D, 7th fret on the G and 8th fret on the B, and that's also just a G chord there. So there's a few chords in there, but most of them are fairly easy. Most of them are just power chords. So now let's get into the song. So we're going to start this intro on the 4th fret on the G string. We're going to do a bend and release, but we're going to do that with a pinched harmonic. We just do that once, and then we go to our A power chord and we play that 2 times. Then from the D string we do the 4th fret, pull off to the 2nd fret, and then play the 4th fret on the D string, play the 5th fret on the D string, and then back to our A power chord. So slowly. And then we play the A power chord twice again. 4th fret on the D, pull off to the 2nd, play the 4th fret on the D. Now this time we're going to play the 4th fret on the G and slide up to the 6th fret, and then go back to our A power chord, and then we do that first riff again, A. Then we play the A again. So let me play that little part for you slowly now. Then we're going to do a pinched harmonic again on the 4th fret, and it bends the same as the intro, the A power chord, and then we're going to play the 4th fret on the D and the G and do a bend and release there. Then back to our first riff again, our second riff, our first riff. Now to finish this first part off, we're going to play the D power chord, and then we're going to add the 5th fret on the A string, the 4th fret on the D string, and do a build up there. So we have, and then we just go back through all that again, just leave out the pinched harmonic at the start, we go straight back to the A 2 times. So let me play that first part up to speed for you now. And then we just go back through the whole riff again, so it plays that all the same. And then to end, instead of going to the D and doing the build up, we're going to play the A power chord, we're going to do the G 2 times, the D once, we're going to do our D over G once, and then back to D. So again. Finish on the A power chord. So let me play that whole intro for you up to speed. It's just basically repeating that first, second riff right through. So let's do that now. Now there's a second guitar that comes in the first time we do the 4 bend on the D and the G string. So there's another guitar doing a pinched harmonic on the 4th fret with a bend and release. And then we just have an A power chord hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to add the octave on that, so the 5th fret on the E and the B string. Then we're going to play this chord here. We're going to have the open A string, 2nd fret on the D string, open G string, and 3rd fret on the B string. Play that and hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. And then we just play a D sus2 and do the build up the same as we did the first time through. So that's our intro, and they're the 2 guitar parts, and now let's jump into the verse. So we're finished on that A power chord, and then we're just going to do a slide and play the A power chord 2 more times. Then we're going to do a palm mute on the open A string 2 times. 2nd fret on the D string, slide up to 4, then play the 3rd fret on the B string, and then 4, slide up to 5 on the D string, and play the 5th fret on the B string. So slowly. Then play the A power chord again 2 times. Our palm mute on the open A string 2 times, and this time 5, slide up to 7 on the D string, play the 7th fret on the B string, and then 7, slide back to 5 on the D string, play the 5th fret on the B string. So let me play that first part for you slowly. And let's do that up to speed. This is just the first part of the verse from the end of the intro on that A power chord. And then we're finished on that A power chord after our little slides up. Then we're going to do another slide down again. Now this time we're going to play the A string 3, hammer onto 5, then play the open G string, and then 3rd fret on the A again, and 2 palm mutes on the 5th fret on the E. And then do a pinched harmonic on the 2nd fret on the G. So just doing that first part slowly now. And then from there we're doing on the G string 5, hammer onto 6, on the D string 7 5 7 5, on the A string 7 6 5, and then do 5 5, and then 8th fret on the E. So slowly. So let me play the second part of the verse slowly for you now. Then from there, let's do that up to speed now, the second part of the verse. Then from there, we just go back to the first one again. Finish on our A. Now this time just hit the strings. And then we do our slide. And then we're going to do our second riff there, the 3, hammer onto 5. Now this time on our run down, we're going to do 5, hammer onto 6 on the G, on the D string, so it's going to be the same, 7 5 7 5. Then on the A string we're going to have 7 6 5, but then we're going to play the G power chord, F sharp power chord, and finish on the E. So slowly, that last part of the verse. So let me put that whole verse together for you now so you can hear how that's going to sound. That's our first verse there. So now let's jump into the pre-chorus, and this will be the same every time we play it. So our pre-chorus, we're finished on that E power chord for our verse. We're going to play the 2nd fret on the D string and the 6th fret on the G string. Play that once, and then go back to the 4th fret on the G string, and then back to the 6th fret. And then we're going to play this F sharp minor chord here, so 4th fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G, B and E. Then we're going to come up to the 4th fret on the D string and the 7th fret on the G string, 6th fret on the G, and then back to 7 on the G, playing that 4 the whole time. And then from there we're going to do a slide up, and we're going to be playing the D string and the B string, so we want to mute that G string there. So we're going to slide up to the 7th fret and play that 5 times, and just come back to the 6, 5, 4, and then just play the 4 on the D, 4 on the B there. So slowly. going to do a bend and release on the 2nd fret on the E string, and then just the open E string, and then we're going to palm mute the E string, and we're going to do these octave chords here. So we're going to have the 4th fret on the A string, 6th fret on the G string, and we're going to be muting the D string. So we do the palm mute on the E, palm mute E, and move up to 5 and 7. Palm mute E, move up to 6 and 8, palm mute E, move up to 7 and 9, and then just come back down again there. And then to finish that off, we're going to do the D chord, the G chord, and then the D7 sus2, and we're going to do that with an upstroke there. Let me play that pre-chorus through for you slowly. There's lots of different chords in there, starting from the E. Speed. I'll go from the end of the first verse so you can see how that fits together there. And then from there we go into our chorus, and each time we do the pre-chorus it's going to be exactly the same. So the start of our chorus, we've got our pinched harmonic again on the 4th fret on the G string, bend and release, A power chord 2 times, then we're going to come up to the 7th fret on the G string and the 7th fret on the E string, muting the B string, and we're going to slide up to the 9th fret and then play that again. So let me play that part through slowly for you. And then we just go back to the A power chord 2 times and do our slide up on 7 and 9 again. And this time we're playing our D power chord 3 times, and then just play the open A string and the 7th fret on the D and the G, and then back to our D power chord, C power chord, B power chord, back to our A power chord 2 times, slide up on our 7 to 9, and now we're going to change a little bit there, so let me play that first part through for you up to speed. Then from there we're going to a G chord. We're going to play the E, A and D string, and then play the E and the B string. We're going to our D sus2, play the D, G and B, and then do an upstroke on the E. Play our E power chord, and then do an upstroke on the E and B, and they'll be open. So let me play that part there slowly for you. And then just do 2 times on the A power chord, and then our F sharp power chord we play once and do a build up, and then we do our D power chord, C sharp, D, C sharp, D, and up to our E there. So, and they're palm muted there. So open D, palm mute, palm mute, palm mute, palm mute, open E. So let me play the chorus through slowly for you, then we'll do it up to speed. Now let's do that up to speed now. This is just the first chorus through. And that's our first chorus there. Now let's jump in to the end of the chorus, which is going to be the same as our first riff or our intro riff there. So let's go through that. So we do our A power chord 2 times. This is the same as the intro. Now slide. Now we we just finish on our G, our A power chord first, our G, D, D, open G, D there. So it's the same as the last one in the intro, so let me just play that for you now. Finish on our A power chord, which gets us into the second verse. So let me put the chorus and that last part together for you. Into the second verse, so let's jump into that. It's nearly the same as the first verse, we just got a few little fills in there. So we start with our A power chord, which we've just ended on, do our slide, A 2 times, and this is the same riff as our first verse, palm muting on the A. Now this time we're going to do this little run up. So we're going to start tapping on the 15th fret, and we're going to hammer, or we're going to pull off back to the 3rd fret and hammer on the 5th fret. And then do the same, but tap on the 17th. Then just go down a string and do exactly the same thing. And then on the D string, we're going to tap on the 14, pull off the 2, hammer on 5, and then do the same on the 17. Tap on 17, pull off the 2, hammer on 5, then do the same on the G string. Then on the B string we go back to tapping on 15, pull off the 3, hammer onto 5, 17, pull off the 3, hammer onto 5, then on the E string tap on 15, pull off the 3, hammer onto 5, and then just end on 17 there. So let me do that slowly for you. And up to speed there. And that's a little run there, and then we go back to our 3, hammer onto 5 on the A string. So all exactly the same, our little run down. And then from there, once we've finished our little run down, we're going to play the 5th fret on the D string, and then do it again with a pinched harmonic, and then the 4th fret and do that again, and again. And then just play the 5th fret on the D string and back to the 3rd fret on the A string. So let's do that up to speed. And then from there we're going back to our first riff, but we're only going to play half of it this time. So our A, and then we're going to play the 7th fret on the G string, do a bend and a pinched harmonic there. And you can do a bend and release there. Then back to the A power chord, and then we're just going to tremolo pick on the A string starting on the 2nd fret and run up. And then do the slide down. Then from our slide down, we're going to do something similar. We're going to do the 3, hammer onto 5 on the A string, open G string, 3rd fret A, 5th fret on the E, pinched harmonic on the 2nd fret on the G, and then our little run down 5, hammer onto 6 on the G. We're going to do 7, 5, 7, 5 on the D, but this time we're going to play 7 on the A. We're going to stop on 6 on the A and then play 5 on the A, 3 on the A. So slowly. And then go back to the riff again and end it like we're going into the pre-chorus. So we play that last little part for you up to speed. And that's the last part of the verse. Let me put that whole verse together for you now. It's pretty similar, we just got a couple of interesting little fills in there. verse there. From there we go straight into the pre-chorus, and that's exactly the same as our last pre-chorus. And then we go into the chorus, and that changes a little bit, so let's jump into that now. So for this second chorus, we're going to play it exactly the same. We're going to do it 2 times. Now the only difference is going to be on our F sharp. We're just going to play that instead of building up. We're going to play it. Then we're going to play the 2nd fret on the G, 2nd fret on the B, 2nd fret on the G, and we're going to palm mute that. And then we're going to do 4th fret on the E string, hammer onto 5, pull off back to 4, off to 2. So on the F sharp minor, let's do that slowly. So that's the only difference. And then the second time through the chorus, it just plays it exactly the same as we did with the first chorus. So let me play that first part of the chorus for you so you can see what's happening on the F sharp minor. Just repeating, so we're not putting the pinched harmonic again at the start of the second chorus. Then from that chorus we're going back to the first riff again, and there's a couple of little fills in there. So now this time we're going to play the 4th fret on the G string, slide up to the 6, play the 5th fret on the E string, 6 slide to 7 on the G, 7 on the E, 7 slide to 8 on the G, 8 on the E, 8 slide to 9, 9 on the E, 9 slide back to 8, and 8 there. So and then back to our riff again. Now from there we're going to come up to the D string. We're going to tap on the 18th fret there, pull off to 16, sorry, pull off to 14, hammer on 16, then do the same on the G string. Then tap on 19, pull off to 14, hammer on 17, then do the same on the E string, and finish on your tap on the 19th. So slowly, and up to speed. So let me put that end of the chorus together for you now so you can hear how that's going to sound. And then from there we're going into our bridge, which is leading into the solo. So now let's jump into that. So for our bridge, or the lead up to our solo, we do the same riff we did in the verse. Do it again. Now this time 5, hammer onto 6 on the G, on the D, 7, 5, 7, and then play the 7 on the D and the G, and then the 5 on the D and the G. And then we're going to move up, we're going to take that same riff and move up. Let me play that first part. Then from there we're moving up, we're going to do the same riff. We're going to start on the 5th fret on the A string, hammer onto 7, play 7 on the D, 5 on the A, 2 palm mutes and 7 on the E, and then a pinched harmonic on the 4th fret on the G. Now our run down is going to be the same, but we're just moving it up 2 frets. So 7, hammer onto 8, on the D string 9, 7, 9, 7, A string 9, 8, 7, 7, 7, 10 there. and then we do the same again, 5, hammer on to 7, 7 on the D, 5 on the A, 2 palm mutes on the E7, and then our pinched harmonic on the 4th fret there on the G, and then from there it's going to change this run down. We're going to do 7, hammer on to 8 on the G string, on the D string, 9, 7, and then do a pinched harmonic on the 9th fret with a bend as well on the G string, 7 on the G, 9, 8, 7 on the D, 10 on the A string, and then the start of the solo is going to start on 7 on the A string. Now before we get into the solo, I'll show you the chords behind it, so let me play that whole section for you leading up to the solo. End on that 7 there, and that gets us to the start of the solo. So let me show you the chords behind the solo, then we'll have a look at that. We just got an E5 power chord we hold for 4, B5 power chord, hold for 4, back to E, 4, F sharp for 2, B for 2, and then A for 4. And then from there we're going to have this A diminished chord there. So we're going to have the open A string, 1st fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G, 1st on the B, and 2nd fret on the E, and that's our A diminished, hold that for 4, and then our E power chord for 4, and then we're going to play the E chord, hold for 1, 2, and E sus 4, so, and then back to E, and then our F sharp power chord, and we're going to hold that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're just going to do a build up on the A power chord for a bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and our B power chord for a bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and E7, A and E, hold that for 4. So let me just play the rhythm behind the solo for you now. That's our solo rhythm there. Now let's tackle the solo. Finished on the 7th fret on the A string. We just do this little run up on the A, 9, 11, 12, on D, 9, 11, on the G, 9, 8, 9, and back to the D, 9. So. And then from there, D string, 9, 11, 13, G string, 9, 11, 13, onto the B string, 9, hammer onto 10, pull off to 9, play 11 on the G, 9 on the B, do a bend on 11 on the G, then do another bend, release, pull off to 9 on the G, 11 D, 9 G, 11 G, 9 B, 10 B, 11 B, 12 B, and 13 B there. So we play that first part for you slowly. And up to speed on that little run, do some palm muting there as well. So we play that first part up to speed for you. Then from there we're doing 10 hammer onto 13 on the B, 11 on the E, 14 on the E, then we're going to do a bend on 15 on the E, then do it again, then this third time do it with the bar starting and let it come out, then 16 with the bar on the E string, and then 12 with the bar on the E string, so we're coming in and letting it come out. Then on the B string we're playing the 12th fret, on the G string the 13th fret, and do that 3 times. And then 12 slide to 14 on the B, and then 12 on the B, and then we do 12 hammer onto 14, pull off to 12 on the B, back to 11 on the B, 14 E, 11 B, 14 E. Then we're going to come up to 19, pull off to 16, and then play the 19 on the B, so that's on the E string, 19, 16, 19 on the B, and then play that again, 19 on the B, 16, 17, 16, 17, 16, 17 on the E string. So then from there we're going to do a bend on 19 on the E, play 19, 17, 16 all on the E, then come up 17, hammer onto 19, pull off to 17 on the E, 21 on the B, 17 on the E, 21 on the B, 19 on the B, 17 on the B, do a bend on the 19 on the B, and then do a tone and a half bend, and then back to 17 on the B to finish there. So let me play that last little part slowly for you. So now let's put that whole solo up to speed so you can hear how that's going to sound. Starting on the 7 on the A string. From that 17 we're just going to use our whammy bar and just in and out on our whammy bar, and then we're going to do a quick slide down and a slide down. So that's 17. And then we go into the next part, which is similar to our first part again, or our intro. Then we're going to do our pinched harmonic on the G string, 4th fret with our bend, and our first riff again. Now we're going to slide up to the 14 on the D string and playing the 14 on the B string, and then 12 and 12, and then 11 on the D, 10 on the B, 9 on the D, 8 on the B, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, and then 4 on the D, 3 on the B. So slowly. Back to our riff again, and then we just finish on the G, and we do a build up 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. this chorus, it's going to be exactly the same as our second chorus on the F sharp minor. We put the fill in. Then the second time we do the F sharp minor, we're not going to play it, we're going to do a pinched harmonic on the 4th fret and just bend and release, instead of playing the F sharp minor there. So let me play that second part of the chorus there for you so you can see what we're talking about. And that's our chorus, and then from there we're going to do this little fill again, and there's a couple of little solos. We're going to come up to the 9th fret, and we're going to be playing the 9 on the G and the E, and we're going to be muting the B string. So we're going to play 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, 10, and we do that 2 times. Then we come up to 14, still on the G and the E string, 2 times. Back to 12, 11, 10, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, 10. Then we're going to come back to 7, and then play the 7 E string, slide up to 14 and 14, and then come back 14, slide to 13 on the G string, 12 on the E string, and then 13, slide back to 9 on the G string and play 9 on the B string. So let me play that little part there for you, then we have a fill. So let's do that. So this fill will start with a bend on the 16 on the G string, then E 14 on the B string, 17, 14, G string, 17, 16, 14, D string, 16, then come back to the G string, 16, B string, 14, and the G, 16, 14, 16, 14, D, 16, G, 14, bend and release on the 16, pull off back to 14, on the D, 16, 14, on the G, 14, on the D, 16, 14 on the A, 15, 16, back to 14 on the G, and then back to the A, 16, 15, 14 on the G, and 15 on, 16 on the A there. So let me play that slowly for you. That little fill right after it. So let's play that up to speed now so you can hear how that's going to sound. And then from there we go back to our little fill and we do that exactly the same. Now this fill changes a little bit here. We're going to do a bend on the 17th fret on the E string, bend and release, pull off to 14, B string, 17, 14, G string, 17, 16, 14, 16 on the D, back to 16 on the G, 14, D, 16, 14, A, 16, 14, and finish on 9 and 11 and do a slide back. So slowly. Let's do that. This is our last little fill. Let's play that up to speed now. And then from there we have this little outro. So let's jump into that now. So we're going to play the same riff we did for our build up to the solo. So that's all the same, and then we do the first one again. Then this last little fill will be different. We're doing 5, hammer onto 6 on the G, on the D, 7, 5, and then play the 5 again, on the A, 7, 5, slide back to 3, and then on the A, 5, 3, E, 5, 3, back to the A, 3, 3, 3, 3, and finish on 5 there. So slowly. And that's the end. So let me play that outro for you now so you can hear how that's going to sound. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you soon.